We are live. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you are connected to us across the globe. This is Sunshine Silas, Nigeria's number one bounce back coach, and I welcome you to this live webinar to celebrate the United Nations World Creativity and Innovation Day in collaboration with Refocus Africa. I'm excited to have this live webinar with us. I have two amazing gentlemen here. It is incredible to have such combination of greatness on one stage to share with us their experiences and expertise on the subject of creativity.
Oops.
That may have been the best 51 seconds of a webcast ever.
And I can't find it on his Facebook timeline. I see about 19 invitations to join us, but I don't see the actual it.
Yeah.
But it said we were live.
It says we're still live. So I wonder if we should talk.
All right. Well, why don't you go first? Talk about creativity during lockdown. I'll be the host.
If I do this, there may be a book offer in it, I hope.
All right.
So as Silas was hopefully going to tell you, my name is Jim Friedman. I am the chief steward for World Creativity and Innovation Week. As long as that's counting, we probably should keep talking because it suggests that we're live.
Yeah.
World Creativity and Innovation Week was founded in Canada, in Toronto, back in 2002 by a Canadian whose name is Marcy Siegel. Grassroots effort in order to use creativity in order to solve the problems of the world, in order to bring innovation into the real problems that we're having on our planet. And the World Creativity begins on April 15th every year, which is Leonardo da Vinci's birthday, for those of you who forgot to get him something. And it ends on April the 21st, which is today, World Creativity and Innovation Day, recognized by the United Nations the day before Earth Day.
Wow.
And so Marcy shepherded her baby for 19 years. And I have been blessed enough to be allowed to be the chief steward. I work at Miami University. I'm a professor of creativity and entrepreneurship. And a lot of the work that's being done to keep the world connected is being.
We're keeping the show going.
Yeah.
Yeah, keep going, Jim.
Yes.
Go ahead, Silas. Did you want to?
Yeah, we are. Sorry for the break in transmission. We are still live.
Yes.
Oh, we've been talking.
Yes. I'll just pick up right away from where I stopped before we had the break in transmission. So I was making an introduction, and I said it's such a So let me start by introducing again Dr. Jim Friedman. Dr. Jim Friedman is a White House associate clinical professor and also associate clinical professor of the Miami University. He's an accomplished author. He's also a movie producer. He is the founder and the president of Dream Builder Institute. He's won so many national awards and also internationally. I'm going to say more about his awards later on. You are also the chief steward of the World Creativity and Innovation Week of the United Nations. Welcome, Dr. Jim Friedman.
Thank you very much, Sunshine.
And also the second guest that I'd like to introduce this afternoon, he's an amazing personality. He happens to be one of my distant mentors, though he doesn't know yet because until now I have not yet established an official contact, but I've read most of his books, and believe me, his influence is far-reaching. I'm talking of none other than Mr. Raymond. He is an accomplished author with more than 30. with more than 38 publications to his name, and he has been able to move himself atop the New York Times bestseller top 10 list. Incredible, phenomenal. Welcome, Mr. Raymond.
I'm honored to be on your show.
Okay, very quickly, our time has been fast spent. Let me go straight to the very first question, and that question is for you, Dr. Jim Friedman. You are the Chief Steward, World Creativity and Innovation Week. Please, can you tell us the history and the relevance of the United Nations World Creativity and Innovation Week?
Absolutely. World Creativity began in Toronto, Canada.
Dr. Jim?
Yes. World Creativity began in Toronto, Canada as by Marcy Siegel in 2002. And she came up with...
Dr. Jim, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, let me move on while we are waiting for Dr. Jim. Mr. Raymond.
Sorry, why don't you go ahead, Jim? I can hear you perfectly.
Yeah. So, as I was saying, Marcy Siegel, Toronto, 2002, grassroots, and she built quite an organization. The United Nations did not get involved in world creativity until 2017, 2018, when they declared April 21st World Creativity Innovation Day, when they added their name to this.
Wait, Jim, yeah. Can I just pretend I'm the moderator?
Oh, please do.
How is creativity relevant to today? We're in a giant lockdown. The world has never had a worldwide lockdown. How can we use creativity to survive, to thrive, to get by? How can we do it?
I think that's a great question. I think that this is the greatest time for creativity in the world. If you remember, the Renaissance, which is one of the most creative periods of history, is a complete outgrowth of the plague.
Oh, right.
And so what happens in difficult times is that the world needs creativity. And if we go back to a definition of creativity, so let's say that the definition of creativity is easy. Let's call it second right answer. So if all we're looking for is how to do something a little bit different, I mean, by doing so a little bit more effectively, a little bit more efficiently, a little bit more intelligently, a little bit more connectively, we could sit in our homes and we could be locked down because of COVID and wring our hands and complain, or we could think about how can we use this time to make the world a little bit better. And there are people who are creating things. It's interesting because a few miles up the street from me, there was a company, because they're trying to figure out how do they make all these protective masks. We don't have enough protective masks. How do we go about getting protective masks? Maybe we could have more people making masks. That's a creative answer. So somebody came up with the idea, why don't we figure out a way to sterilize the used masks that we're using? So rather than having, again, a second right answer, looking at it a different way. And if creativity is that simple, just saying what if, or how do we look at this differently? Well, then maybe this COVID is going to be, in the end of it, something that we learn from. So let me be the interview and throw back on you. You have, I think at last count, more than 1 million book titles. Which of your books do you draw the most inspiration from in forming your perception of this coronavirus?
Well, there's two things you said that I absolutely love. One is that the Renaissance was the outgrowth of the plague. That is the genius idea. And I never thought of that, but that I've thought that there's going to be great creativity coming out of this lockdown, but you've just proved it. And I loved your definition of creativity being the second right answer. That is brilliant. That is so deep. I love it. And what I want you to know is that there are some people going down, they're listening to the news and they're getting frightened. And there's bad news, but they're listening to it. And the interesting thing is, I have a funny line: optimists and pessimists are equally deluded, but optimists live longer. And so if I'm going to miss some news, I'd rather miss the bad news, because there's bad news out there. For example, the governor of the state of California announced 4 days ago that he's considering continuing the lockdown in California until 2021. And CNN announced a few days ago that 31% of Americans couldn't pay their rent this month of April. 31%. That's enormous. That means that landlords are going to go bankrupt. That means that apartment buildings are going to drop in value. That means that office buildings are going to drop in value. Why? Because I've been asking my CEO for years, why don't we send our staff home? No. I'd like to see them every day. Well, now she has to send them home, and she has a meeting at 9 a.m. where they declare not their goal, but they declare what they commit to completing that day. So she knows more about what they're doing than when they're in an office. And then at 5 o'clock, they have another staff meeting, and they have to declare what they actually got done and prove it. She says she has more awareness of what's going on in the company than ever before. Well, excuse me, when the lockdown is over, we're not renewing our lease. Well, I have a small company of 9 people, but it still costs me $7,000 a month. That's almost $100,000 a year that we don't have to spend. That's unbelievable. But we never had the courage or creativity to do it because we weren't forced to. We could stay in our current rut, but now people are forced to come up with new ideas. And Jim, thanks for being a great moderator. Not to displace our friend Silas Sunshine, but he pops in and out every so often. So I'm going to tell you a story that's going to blow you away and all of the listeners. I know someone who, oh, there he goes. I know someone who owns one of the largest fitness gyms in the whole world. And he spends a couple $100,000 a month in rent. Plus he employs 150 fitness instructors. The guy's got a giant overhead and he makes money. He charges $20 a month and he's got lots of clients. But during this lockdown, he's not making $20 a month. He's making $0 a month because people are canceling their credit card payments because they can't get into the gym. So instead of going bankrupt, he used his creativity, he used his positivity, and what he decided to do, he sterilized a piece of equipment, and he called one of his clients and said, I know you love the Stairmaster. I've sterilized it, I've disinfected it, I put it on the truck, it's on the way to your home right now. If you say yes, I'll deliver it, $99 a month. Say no, I'll send it to somebody else. He said, no, send it. And then he called lots of his other clients. They've all said, yes, please send an industrial strength, high quality fitness equipment. And then my friend said, if you get bored of it, just tell me, I'll replace it with another one so you never get bored. He's now making $99 a month instead of 20 or 0. He's making more money than he's ever made before, top line revenue. And he says when his rent comes up for renewal, goodbye, he's not going to have the world's largest gym that doesn't exist. He goes to the gym 15 hours a day just to take care of his enterprise. Now he's going to close his shop down. He's got hundreds and hundreds of pieces of equipment out on rental to homes around Los Angeles. And he's looking forward to having 1,000 pieces of equipment out there with no overhead, no fitness instructors on salary, no big rent, no air conditioning bill. He's going to run his business from his cell phone lying on a beach in Los Angeles. Wow. It's the end of his 15-hour-a-day life. He didn't know how he would retire. And now he's not retired. He's earning more than ever, but living a life of retirement.
So creativity is what you make of it.
Well, he came up with the second right idea. As you said, listen, I'm going to use that line. I love it. I love it.
That's great. That's great. That's one of the things that I teach my students about the second right answer. And that's scientifically proven at the foundation of creativity. And the study of creativity began. I mean, we've been studying medicine for thousands of years. We've been studying philosophy for thousands of years. We've been studying creativity for 70 years. That's
Right.
it.
Yeah.
They started studying it because they wanted to figure out why certain spies got captured, or why certain pilots got shot down in the Second World War. And my students believe that it was the smart pilots that got away, that it's the smart spies that got away. It's all GPA related. So the smarter I am, the better it is. What the research showed is no. It was the people who were the pilots who were captured first. The spies who were captured first were the ones with the high GPAs. The reason being, they knew what the textbook said. And when they did what the textbook said and it didn't work, they had no other ideas. It was the ones who have a more creative mind who, when the first action didn't work, they had a second right answer and a third right answer, then a fourth right answer. And they're the spies that got away. They're the pilots that got away. And that's where creativity is the second right answer. It's not how smart you are. It's how you can find diverse ideas, how you can find multiple opportunities and options.
What a fascinating, that's wow. That's a huge wow.
There you go. Sunshine. You want to join?
Too much of a time lag. Okay, let's just keep going. So I've decided to pivot. I've been on stage for 37 years, but there's no stages anymore.
That's right.
I have a staff of 9 who are brilliant at finding these stages, booking these stages, having staff on stages, everything. But that skill isn't needed. And so I've had to pivot. I've had to turn on the time because I want to thrive during these special times.
Yes. Thank you so much for moving it along.
And so what have I done? I've gone virtual. Well, that's not such a unique idea, but what I've decided to do is use the skills that I've created over 37 years. And one of the things that I've created after writing 139 books and having as my best friends the most famous, genius, transformational leaders in the entire world, including everybody who was in the movie The Secret. And so what I've done is I've harvested those friendships and I've created a gigantic event this weekend, April 24th and 25th. It's called World Prosper Summit, worldprospersummit.com. And it's gone viral. There's tens of thousands of people who've joined. It's the biggest thing I've ever done in my life. And normally I have 100 or 200 or 300 people at an event. My largest is 500 to 1,000. I've now got tens of thousands of people registered for World. It's amazing because I've got the 7 of the superstars, 7 of the mega superstars of the movie The Secret, all presenting for me. These are the same people that charged me $50,000 to $250,000 to appear once, and all of them have said they'll do it for free. Well, if they're working for me for free, then I don't have to charge you. And so worldprospersummit.com is a free event with 7 superstars of the movie The Secret, giving you positive ideas, hopefully giving you creative ideas, hopefully increase your creativity, giving you the incentive and the idea and the juice to be positive so that you can come up with wild new ideas and recreate your company. It's for people who are thinking sadly, or they're being laid off, or they fear they're going to be laid off, and they're listening to the news and they're feeling terrible. For people who are just eking by and they're hoping not to die, or people who are also rising to give them even more ideas. And it's not just 7 superstars of The Secret. I've also got such amazing other people. I've got the #1 internet marketer in Europe teaching you how to take your business online. I've got the #1 internet marketer in England, which is no longer part of Europe, teaching you how to take your business online. I've got the #1 mail order business expert from the United States teaching you how to create a mail order business. I've got the world #1 feng shui expert teaching you how to cure the feng shui ills of your home. I've got a policeman from Texas telling us what the bad guys are doing during the lockdown so you won't get hurt. I've got such wisdom for over 2 days this weekend, Friday, Saturday, April 24 and 25. 24 and 25, Friday, Saturday, 11 a.m. Eastern until 6 p.m. Eastern, 7 straight hours, and each world-famous expert gets only half an hour. So they have to choose their best wisdom, their most workable and proven wisdom to truly help you. WorldProsperSummit.com. It's the biggest thing I've ever done. You've never, ever got 19 world experts together for free. It's never happened. People are registering like crazy. The numbers are going up by the second. It's the most shocking thing I've ever done. And I would never have done such a thing if it weren't for the lockdown. If I called my super famous, super wealthy friends and said, would you like to be on my stage? They'd say, sure, $50,000. And I'd say, no, do it for free. They'd say, screw you. Because I paid these people $50,000 to $250,000. And now they're working for free. Everybody's gathering together. Everybody's gathering together. It's like the Woodstock of April 2020. It's a free event.
That's great. That's really exciting. Oh, wow. It's good to see that Wiwa Fasikin, the head of World Creativity throughout Africa, is watching our broadcast live.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. I have a question for you, Dr. Jim. If you can hear me.
I can hear you now.
Okay.
Go ahead and ask.
Maybe I should ask.
Come on, sunshine. Got it?
Okay, I'll ask.
Okay, so Dr. Jim, I have a very quick question. I have a very quick question for you, Dr. Jim, because your consulting and coaching work centers on connecting creative and innovative thinking to entrepreneurship for companies and individuals. Okay, so the question is, why is creativity and innovation so important for entrepreneurs? And what would you consider the greatest threat to building a culture of creativity and innovation? Why is creativity and innovation so important for entrepreneurs? And what would you consider the greatest threat to building a culture of creativity and innovation?
There are 6 questions altogether. Go for it.
Yeah, let me see if I can. I'm going to try something. And Raymond, if this works, I expect you follow up with one of your own. Okay.
Okay.
So I'm going to try to hit this button here and see if are you seeing my screen?
No.
Oh, okay. All right. That was a nice try. Oh, wait. So I'm going to stop sharing the screen. I'm going to start with this. The thing that we know about creativity, and this was started by this guy named George Land. And George Land was a scientist for NASA. And as a scientist for NASA, what he needed to do was figure out how to get guys to build a rocket ship to land on the moon and then take off again and come back. Now, this had never been done before. And anytime you're going to do something that's never been done before, you've got to have people who can think in new and different ways. So George Land decided he was going to give every PhD who came to work for him, he was going to give them a test and see how creative they were. But the interesting thing that Dr. Land did was he gave the same exact test to 1,600 5-year-olds. He gave the same test to the PhDs as he did to 1,600 5-year-olds, and the 5-year-olds amazingly scored at a 98% genius level. Well, George Land was profoundly amazed, and he kept the names of the 1,600 5-year-olds, and he followed them for 5 years. And after 5 years, he gave them the same test. And after 5 years, the 10-year-olds now who scored at a 98% genius level now scored 30% genius level.
The same question.
The same question.
They already knew the answer to.
Test. He followed them 5 more years, and at 15, he gave them the same test again, and they scored at a 12% genius level. Now, what George Land knows and what that test showed, because the PhD scientists and pretty much every adult now scores at a 2% creative genius level. So what he knows and what that shows is that creativity is not taught. Creativity is not inherited. Creativity is not learned. Creativity is unlearned. We are born naturally creative, and our teachers and our parents and our friends and our society take it away from us. They take it out of us because of the word no, stop, don't, no, it's not time for that, no, don't ask that question, no, you're not going to go out dressed like that, no, that's a stupid idea, no, we don't do it that way, no, sit down and put your hand down. And all of these things take our creativity and throw it away. So the truth about creativity that I know, and that most creative people know, is that we all own it. It's just dormant inside of us, ready to come out. And so if we empower each other and we don't shut each other down, I'll do one more story. This is a little girl who was near my school, 5 years old, 4 years old. And she saw something on television. It was like a red carpet thing. And she went into the bathroom, and she comes out of the bathroom, and she has made this evening gown by wrapping toilet paper around her. Now, most parents would say, look at all the toilet paper you've wasted. Look at the mess you've made. But her parents took one look at her toilet paper evening gown and said, we better have a photo shoot. We'll be the paparazzi. And so the parents took photos of the little girl, and that encouraged her to make more costumes out of more things around the house. And at 5 years old, she had her own clothing line at J. Crew. I had her come to my school and teach my college class in creativity. We took a lot of garbage and we all made clothing, and she helped them all. This is where creativity comes from. It comes from not shutting it down when we own it. So there you go. Sunshine, there's the answer to your question. Your turn.
Well, the creativity that I have created is to create the worldprospersummit.com, and the evidence that it is the correct thing to do, or maybe, as you say, the second correct thing to do, is that people are loving it. It's just resonating with them. And I wish I had met you before, Jim, because I would have loved to have you as a speaker on creativity. But this is such a successful event, I may well do it again. And so I will Google you. I'm sure I can find you very, very easily.
I hope so.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm going to invite you onto my stage, not at worldprospersummit.com, because it's full. I've got 19 of the world's greatest geniuses already on the line. And so I'm going to, as soon as this is over, you'll talk. But on this one, I've got people helping you start a business, helping you improve it, you add virtual elements to your business. And it's for people who are salaried but who are frightened, people who have been laid off and unemployed, so they're frightened, or people who are just hoping to eke by, but their company might go under, the company they work for might go under, or even people who are doing well but want to do even better. And it's gone viral, Jim. It's just that I've never, ever had so many people registering for any event ever, ever, ever. For 37 years, I have stepped on an airplane 1.5 times every week. 1.5 times every week for 37 years. But there's no airplanes anymore.
Right. Right.
And we can't go to hotel rooms anymore. And we can't sleep in hotel bedrooms anymore. And even when the lockdown is over, there's going to be some hesitancy to do that. And so all of my super creative friends are coming up with ways to do it online, ways to do mail order, ways to do network marketing, ways to do internet marketing, ways to do multi-level marketing, and all together. So worldprospersummit.com, my friends, register. It's free. It's free. worldprospersummit.com. You'll go there. You'll love it. And World Prosper Summit #2, which I don't know will be in a couple months. Jim Friedman's going to be the big headliner.
Well, while you guys are all writing down worldprospersummit.com, worldprospersummit.com, what I want to do is promote my World Creativity and Innovation Week, which is WCIW.org. WCIW, World Creativity and Innovation Week, WCIW.org. And that's where the world comes together to talk about creativity.
Wow. Wow. I'm impressed. I'm impressed. I'm still bubbling over with the idea that the plague created the Renaissance. Wow. That is so fascinating. Do you have other examples where a world lockdown or the Spanish flu or the Inquisition or some horrible, ugly worldwide event caused an upsurge of creativity?
Not off the top of my head, no.
That's too. I loved it.
There are stories throughout history. You know the movie, and maybe over the heads of some of the younger people, of The Great Escape.
Yes.
Okay, it was a great movie. The movie wasn't true because James Garner and Steve McQueen didn't escape. Everybody who escaped were Europeans, but it was the Americans who dug the tunnels. There is a time of fairly extreme and desperate problems. I mean, you're in a prison. And they came up with the idea to dig down and out under the entire camp into the woods. And the way they did it by taking the slats from their beds, by cutting holes in their pockets and taking the dirt that they were bringing up, and then as they walked in the yard, dropping it through their pants legs and adding it to the other dirt. They figured out somehow what was going on, and a greeting card, playing card company, U.S. playing card, sent them playing cards, which the Germans said, sure, you guys can have playing cards. But if they peeled off the backs and put it together, it created a map of Europe of how they could escape. So in any negative situation that you find throughout history, no matter what, people have found ways to persevere. People have found ways to innovate.
Wow. Well, and what a statistic that I know is that in the Great Depression of 1929 to 1939, which you'd think is the worst time, like the last time you should start a business. But if you look at the Dow Jones Industrial Average of 30 stocks representing the entire New York Stock Exchange, almost half of those 30 companies started during the Great Depression. So maybe that's another example.
Right. Absolutely. We should thank Brandon Kapp, who seems to be watching this and commenting. So thank you for letting us know that you're out there and listening to our conversation.
Thank you, Lisa, Muawa, Brandon, Hunter. Yeah. Thank you for watching and commenting. So why don't you say your website again, and I'll say mine again, Jim.
My website, wciw.org. WCIW.org is World Creativity and Innovation Week. And yours?
Well, the network has been crazy from my end.
And what will they get when they go there, Jim?
Oh, they'll get to see how creativity is being celebrated throughout the world. And wow, look at that.
Hunter, you rock. Thanks for doing that.
WCIW.org. Hunter is right on it. I shouldn't tell you that he's one of my students at the university. And so he's in charge. He's the student in charge of the international collection of people. So unfortunately,
he's doing a good job for you.
He is. I'm going to have to look into raising his grade just a little bit, don't you think?
And now, Hunter, put down my website.
Put it down.
WorldProsperSummit.com. WorldProsperSummit.com. It's a free event where you'll learn creativity, you'll learn wealth creation, you'll learn positivity. And I'm really proud of it. I've never had so many people register for an event. It's gone viral, tens of thousands of people. It's so exciting. Hunter, where's my website? Or maybe he's only loyal to you, Jim.
I think he has to get in line, in putting his comments up, because it looks like Ronica was next. So,
you know, it's 11 a.m. Eastern till 6 p.m. Eastern. Everybody gets half an hour, and the very, very first speaker is Mark Victor Hansen, who is the co-creator of the Chicken Soup for the Soul series of books. And his talk is so uplifting. Wait till you hear. I think you'll love the title of his talk, How to Stay Up During Downtimes.
Oh, that's great.
And so he's going to give us a platform of positivity, that will set the stage for the entire event. And every speaker, no matter how famous they are, they get half an hour. I kick them off after half an hour because I'm bringing on another world famous speaker. And it's just going to be like tilting your head back and drinking from Niagara Falls.
Absolutely. You know, you have what, 189 book titles?
I've written and had published 139.
How about 140 being Chicken Soup for the Creative Soul?
Wow. Well, I will ask my friend Mark Victor Hansen and Jack Canfield, who own the franchise, if they would like to do that. And you'd be the perfect one.
Yeah, we could tell the story of the little girl and her toilet paper.
That's an awesome story. It's really awesome.
Yeah, if you want to look her up, her website is Fashions by Mayhem.
No way. She had her own line. That's hilarious.
It's great. It really is. It really is. So,
Hunter, where's my website? WorldProsperSummit.com. I'm relying on you.
Waiting for you, Hunter. No sunshine. Now that you're back with us for a little bit.
Yes, there's something you'd like to say.
Come on, Sunshine, this is your show. I think we have some lag time to Nigeria.
Yeah, but I think I've said everything I wanted to say. Go to worldprospersummit.com.
Yes, I'm still here. Yes, I am. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's been an amazing.
Okay. Well, thank you for inviting us, Sunshine. We really appreciate putting this together. Wish you could have.
Thank you so much, gentlemen. You guys have been phenomenal. You own the show.
And Jim, thank you for being a co-host with me, an inadvertent co-host, and also the guest.
Absolutely. Raymond, very good to meet you. Sunshine, very good to see you. And to all of you who've enjoyed.
I appreciate. Thank you, Dr. Jim. Thank you, Mr. Raymond. It's been an amazing honor for me to have both of you.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Thank you all. See you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.